Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about the multiplayer combat editor. In this video we're going to learn how to create your own skill overlay. So what is a skill overlay? The it's just two boxes containing the skills your character or actor learned. So if you see my window, this is just the skill overlay is just the two white areas close to my skills. And if you can alt, you can shift and F1 to put your mouse there, and you can see this is an active empty slot. This is a slot that can display a skill, and you can also drag and drop your skills. That's a built-in function, but you cannot drag an active skills on a passive skill, obviously. And I think you can also drag and drop your passive skills like this. And so we're going to learn how to create your own using the base skill overlay MCE features. So we're going to add to our widget folder. We're going to right click that, create a new blueprint class, which is going to be a skill overlay. And you can also just duplicate the UDX skill overlay and create your own from that one. But in this video, we're going to learn how to create one from scratch. So you're going to create a skill overlay. We're going to call that, I don't know, add my skill overlay. Like this. We're going to open it up. And it's empty. So we're going to add a canvas panel to that just to make it, and we're going to make it fill the screen just to make it so it looks like a standard widget you would have created. And so these widgets, to set up this widget, we need to have two boxes which are going to contain the skills. So we are first going to put them, and we're going to use one horizontal box. And I want to use a vertical box just because I never tried to use a vertical box, so I want to have some fun. So I'm going to make the horizontal box the list of active skill. I'm going to put that down, but in the middle of my screen, maybe a little up like this. I'm going to make that 600 and 150. This doesn't really, the size of your bars matter because it depends how you set up your skill slots. Skill slots are the icons of the skills. So this is a skill slot. So the size of the widgets is driven by the logic you want to create, depending on the size of your skill slot and depending on how you want to create your skill overlay. So I cannot really tell you how you want to set up this. It's supposed to work anyhow you set up it, as long as the skill slots can actually fit in your bar. So we're going to make that on the right, I mean, like that, maybe a little off as well. We're going to make that the other way around, like this. This is going to be our VBox, passive container, and the other one is going to be HBox, active container. We're going to make that variable, the other one as well. We're going to hit compile, go to our graph, and then in there what you want to do, oftentimes with the HUD, you want to grab the overrideable functions and you want to type in get. So if you want to be able to type in that location, in that menu, you want to drag and drop that a little bit, and then you can type in get. And it's only looking for get skill slot. Okay, I know why, because we need to type in setup. Okay, so that's another case of me not calling things properly. So if we have a skill overlay, we can auto record the slot. I actually just want to tell him that he can use my bars to actually generate the skill icons. That's actually strange. I'm just going to open up our example skill overlay. just to know so it looks strange. These are the bars supposed to contain the skills. So we are just creating skill slots inside the bar. Okay, fair enough. So we apparently just need to actually, so I'm going back to our skill overlay in construct like that. I'm going to make sure we can use that event. Yep, we can. So in the construct event, we actually want to create skill slots. And what does it do? So this is creating an empty slot like this in one of the bar. We need to add it as a child of our bar afterwards. And it's asking us where do we want to create that, at what location in the bar. And actually not, no, this is the skill index it is supposed to host. So for instance, this is the skill index 0, this is the skill index 1, 2, and 3. You want to give each slot, a different ID, ranging from 0 to the last slot you have. And the last one, the category, is it an active or a passive skill? And you can actually specify how much of a determined category a skill manager can have at the maximum. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you open up, for instance, if you open up your player character, if you click on the skill manager and drag it a little bit there, you have a metrics folder which says max slots per category. If you open that up, it's giving you passive and active, and you can tell how many skills that skill manager can learn at maximum for each category. So I specified 4 for each, and in there you can specify the category of the slots you are adding, just so the skill manager can know where to add the skills you learn in your skill overlay. So we are just going to create a bunch of slots and add them to our bar. So we're going to right click that. We're going to loop. We're going to loop from 0 to 3 like that. And we're going to say, so this means we do that 4 times. And this is returning the value we have, the number of time we have looped, 0 to 3. So we want to set the index of the active is that. And we also want to create 4 passive with the same IDs. But that skill slot, we want to add that to our horizontal box. Not that one. We want to add child like this. And we want to add the skill slot we just created. Then we also want to do that for our passive skill list. So we'll just drag and drop the passive container there to replace the active container. So we've set up this. This is actually a full screen widget displaying 2 skill lists, which have both 4 skill slots for active and passive. But you might wonder, how can I specify what type of skill slot I want to see? Maybe you want to customize your own skill slots and summon it in your bar. But in this video, we're going to just use the base skill slots, and customizing it will be the subject of another video. So if you want to specify which skill slot spawn, you can just click your class defaults, and in there you have a folder named metrics, and you can specify what is the class of the skill slot it is supposed to spawn. We're going to specify WTX skill slot like this. And then we need to tell our skill manager to actually spawn that type of skill overlay. So we're going to head back to our third-person character, and then in our init skills functions, we're going to see where we call dispatch on ready of our skill manager. we are asking if we are locally controlled, then we are creating our skill overlay. And there we can specify which class of overlay we want to spawn, and in there we want to spawn my skill overlay. Then we want to hit compile, hit play, and then you're going to have the type of overlay you just created. And you can already see that the size of what I created is not right for the size of my skill slot. So every designer, every UI, the UI design is up to you. You can do whatever you want. It depends on the size of the skill slot you're going to create and customize. So it's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.